live George Finnie Stadium in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Match day 5 NPSL soccer. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the YouTube stream. I'm Gianluca Di Giacomo, joined alongside Gavin Carrick today. Mid-season action here for Cleveland SC, coming back home for the second of what will be a 3-game span at home against Ambassadors FC Ohio on a very humid day, a perfect day for a beach day theme, Gavin.
Absolutely, Gianluca. Beach theme here on the campus of Baldwin Wallace. There's beach balls everywhere. I've seen people with their towels and everything beach themed. What a night and what a game, too, that we have in store here today.
Yeah, both really solid in what has been a very competitive Great Lakes Conference thus far. Cleveland SC and Ambassadors Ohio, both coming into this one at a 2-1-1 overall record, just behind Rochester FC as well as Flower City Union atop the table, as well as Niagara 1812 and Erie Commodores just below, while the Buffalo Stallions and Syracuse FC stay at the bottom.
Yes, this is just a very, very tight division, like you just said. It is top 4. Remember, get into the NPSL playoffs at the end of the regular season. Also, something very important to note, only 10 matches played during the regular season, so we're halfway through.
Yeah, it's crazy to think things have flown by quite a lot. Of course, we got the rest of this month and whatever comes to us in July. And meanwhile, we will get into the starting 11s. First of all, for Ambassadors, they'll line up in a 3-5-2 with Cadence Robinson starting in goal. It's a flat back 3. Coming in from Akron City FC, Dan O'Callahan on the left, as well as the captain Omar Najjar, one of Cleveland's very own, playing for the Crunch in the spring. He's at the right center back, with Otterbine's Jacob Irani as the other center back, with Yoni Sorokin and Aiden Eck as the wing midfielders to accompany the center mids, as Matthew Skladany as well as Brennan French stay in the center of the park. And the number 10, Jordan Akins, coming into today with 3 assists in his first 4 appearances. And a very prolific front 2 on the left of the strike partnership. 4 goals coming into this one, leading the Great Lakes Conference, Amir Spratt. And on the right, it is Wilmington College's Randy Harris. And now for Cleveland SC, they return to their 4-3-3 formation. Just a couple changes in the squad as Zoltan Nagy starts in goal. Jordan Lewis and Bobby Turner make up the center halves, while Keegan Dawson and Julio Fuentes stay on the outskirts of that back 4. Kyle Healy and Sam Sebagabo as the 8s. Kean Tooney, the Irishman, coming in as the center attacking mid. And it's a front 3 of Malvin Gabla and Stephen Ngunga on the wings, and Tomasz Nagy as the sole striker. Of course, Stanislav Koval serving a 2-game suspension with a red card coming in the first opening minutes of the second half against the Erie Commodores on Saturday. And of course, our sideline reporter, Justin Diedrich, spoke with Coach Joe and some players on the sideline, talking about the implications of missing their star man, as we'll kick it out to Justin on the sideline at Finnie Stadium.
Cleveland SC is going to be without Stanislav Koval today, suspended for a red card for this match. He leads the team in goal scored with 3, so it's going to be a loss. They're going to feel his presence miss out there on the field. Coach isn't worried about that, though. They're going to see how the attack can fare against an Ambassadors team that is very tough. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Thank you very much, Justin. And like we were talking about, post or pre-game, before we got on air, Gavin, and Justin was just talking about on the sideline, missing Stanislav Koval with 3 goals through his first 3 matches with the team. It's going to be costly, but we've said it before, we have a lot of confidence in the front line leading the charge tonight.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity for those guys to step up. We've thrown around a lot. Tomasz Nagy, he's that 9 out-and-out striker. But now you have both wingers in the forms of Stephen Ngunga and Malvin Gabla, both guys who we've seen so far this season do a very good job of coming up in big moments. Well, that whole front 3 this season has been good. That they're going to have to step up now. It's always going to be tough missing your go-to guy in the form of Stanislav Koval. But again, it gives those guys to now step up into those big roles like he does.
Absolutely. It's a crucial piece, and it was a moment of carelessness from Koval in that last game. But, of course, like we said, this team has more than enough depth, especially up front, to bounce back from a shortcoming like that, as we are just about ready to get things kicked off and underway soon here at Finnie Stadium, as both starting 11 starting to make their way outside of the tunnel to step onto Trestle Field here at George Finnie Stadium. Both looking to climb the ranks, like we said before. with a heavily competitive Great Lakes Conference for the first 4 or 5 matches.
Gentlemen, and welcome to Finnie Stadium here in beautiful Berea, Ohio, on the campus of BW. Tonight's NPSL match between the Hall of Fame city from Canton, Ohio, the Ambassadors FC, Ohio, and your Cleveland FC. Starting off with the visitors, Ambassadors FC Ohio. Number 10, he's from just down the freeway, Josh Lord. Number 90, Randy Harris. Number 29, Adrian Nunez-Garris. Number 8, Hayden Kaiser. Number 15, Brandon French. Number 22, Jonathan Sorokine. Number 39, Jacob Irani. Number 37, Jordan Akins. Number 88, Maxwell Brown. The captain, number 6.
Of course, as PA announcer Sean Bartzak announces the starting 11, we'll jump the gun here on the broadcast in just a moment, but going to be getting into Cleveland SC starters first.
And now let's see the starting 11 for your Cleveland FC. In goal number 0, Sultan Nagy. Number 3, Tino Fuentes. Number 18, Jordan Lewis. Number 9, Robert Turner. Number 6, Keegan Dawson. Your captain, number 23, Kyle Healy. Number 13, Samuel Sabaga Abo. Number 55, Cian Tunney. Number 10, Stephen Ngunga. Number 22, Hamas Nagy. And number 12, Melvin Gabla. Ladies and gentlemen, singing tonight's national anthem is local artist Trisha Ramos.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly strewn.
And that was an absolutely incredible rendition of the national anthem, Gavin.
Wow, that was amazing.
I mean, it's
That was
always good.
amazing.
It's incredible to think that. I mean, normal people just walk around with voices like
I
that.
know.
You know.
I know.
But with that, we will be pivoting to something a little bit more heavy-hearted, but at the same time, very much so necessary. As tonight, Cleveland SC is honoring Hayden Kaiser, a former Ambassadors player, a graduate of Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, who 4 years ago today, unfortunately, passed away. He was a graduate of Wright State University, where he played club soccer, and he was also an officer in the finance club. He went into a career in finance and served as a volunteer coach with Ambassadors, and was appointed by the junior varsity coach at Solon to coach there before his death. His passion for service was seen in many ways not only as a volunteer and coach and mentor to many Ambassadors youth players, but also in his dedication to the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, where his family and friends spent the day volunteering, as they do every year on this day, to celebrate his life and service to others. Ambassadors football has honored Hayden by naming their training facility Hayden Kaiser Field, and his family has established an endowed fund to support coaching education in the club. So tonight, a handful of players and Ambassadors, as well as, of course, the club's captain, Omar Najjar, standing with Kyle Healy, honoring Hayden Kaiser for the great man that he was to this club, to the people around him, to the Ohio Soccer Syndicate, and so much more.
See, it's a very touching scene, and this is, moments that really just, like you said, it's heavy heart, but it's beautiful to see two clubs, two fan bases, the coaching staff, the players all come together for this beautiful moment that we're seeing right now.
We are blessed by their presence tonight and celebrate and honor what Hayden continues to mean to our organization. Hayden would want us to reflect on these words from Scripture from Romans. I'm convinced that nothing can separate us from God's love in Christ Jesus, our Lord. Not death or life, not angels or rulers, not present things or future things, not powers or height or depth or any other thing that is created. Thank you.
That frame number 5 jersey, as we said before, for Hayden Kaiser, rest in peace. Of course, as we said today, the 4th year of his anniversary of his passing, from June 4th, 2021. And again, like you said, Gavin, it's a touching scene from the club to honor him, a great sense of unity for something heartbreaking, but of course with heartbreaking things like that, you get beautiful moments like this. And like we said, the family and the club are doing so much to honor his legacy, rightfully so.
You do, and these are moments that you realize it's bigger than soccer, and this is certainly one of them. And like you said, and we've been talking about it throughout this entire ceremony. It's such a beautiful touch from both clubs to see them come together at this point in time.
Without a doubt, as the captains Omar Najjar and Kyle Healy walking up towards midfield.
Cleveland SC would like to recognize our match ball sponsor, longtime Cleveland SC supporter, Brooke Miller.
Brooke Miller also being honored as the match ball at midfield with Omar Najjar and Kyle Healy. This match should be kicking off soon here for an exciting 90 minutes on what has been a brutal day temperature-wise, as we know.
It absolutely has been. We have been roasting up here in the press box, to put it lightly. We'll have our 10 minutes of air conditioning, and then it'll shut off again, and then it'll come back on. So we're hoping it stays on for a while, if it does come back on, and the water will be flowing, should we say, throughout the game today.
Absolutely. As Najjar and Healy at midfield looking to determine the kickoff. And we'll see where the next 90 minutes take us. Until then, of course, we want to kick things off today with shouting out our very special sponsor, as Cleveland SC is proud to partner with La Ruta del Cilantro Taqueria, a locally loved spot serving up fresh, build-your-own tacos, burritos, bowls, and more. With locations from Tremont to Chesterland, they bring a bold flavor and handcrafted salsas to every neighborhood. La Ruta is all about choice, quality, and community, making it a go-to for fans looking to fuel up the right way. Whether you're grabbing lunch, feeding the family, or ordering on the go, their menu delivers flavor, flexibility, and fun. Big thanks to Cilantro Taqueria for backing local soccer and being a proud sponsor of Cleveland SC. So we've done talking about tonight, Gavin, of course, and it also is important to shout out the opposition. Like we said, coming around just down the road from the Hall of Fame city in Canton. And two of those players, of course, one of Cleveland's very own, the defender Omar Najjar, the club's captain, a rising star with the professional indoor team in the Cleveland Crunch, and a player that represents a great bit of a blend of leadership, composure, athleticism, you name it, as the former University of Mount Union player. That's in the back. And up front, leading the Great Lakes Conference in goals tied along with a Rochester player, it's the forward also from the University of Mount Union, Amir Spratt, who's bagged, like we said, 4 goals in his opening 4 matches with the club. So those are two players that Cleveland SC are going to have to neutralize early on.
Yes, just talk about, again, a couple of Purple Raiders, what seasons that they are having. And like you said, guys that know what they're doing, how talented that they are. It's going to be very, very difficult, especially for a guy like Amir Spratt, who fantastic, so lethal in front of goal. Cleveland SC will have, especially at that back line, will have their hands full with him all match long.
And with the kickoff, we are underway at Finnie Stadium. Cleveland SC and Ambassadors commencing. As the ball is won in the center of the park by Ambassadors, and they look to build up the left-hand side now with Brendan French. Starting lineups were posted a little bit before game time. Of course, like we said, Cleveland SC lining up in their quintessential 4-3-3 with Joe Jovanovski kind of diversifying the midfield a little bit. Kyle Healy dropping into a more defensive role. You got Kean Tooney in the more attacking role, and Sebagabo playing that much-needed box-to-box as that ball is flicked forward. And Sebagabo looked to chase that one down, but to no avail. And it's with Cadence Robinson, the Macedonian native committed to the United States Air Force. Now Dan O'Callahan tries to send that one up the pitch. It's taken away and back out wide with Brendan French. Ambassadors lining up in there. 3-5-2. Jordan Akins playing the number 10. We said Spratt and Harris up front. That lethal duo, as we might get to see a little bit early on, as Spratt plays it to the top of the box, and the shot from just outside the 18-yard box. Skladany will fly over the bar and out for a goal kick for Zoltan Nagy.
And that's just how fast the Ambassadors can come at you, right? This team is a very good team on the counter. They have a lot of speed up top. Can you talk about Amir Spratt and Randy Harris as well, those out-and-out strikers that they have?
When that ball played right to, it was Yoni Sorokin who took that shot before, my apologies, as now it's with Skladany. As Julito Fuentes getting a touch, that ball intended for Jordan Akins. And a great piece of defensive acumen from Kyle Healy to cut out that pass. So now it's back with Jordan Lewis returning to the starting 11. The Australian-born played at Notre Dame College for quite some time. Coming into tonight, 7 appearances and a goal for the squad just last season alone. He will be paired alongside Bobby Turner, who's already established being one of the top players of this Cleveland SC side this summer. Of course, coming from a Appalachia FC team that was in the Final Four the entire NPSL last season, also playing in the U.S. Open Cup for that squad before making his way down to Cleveland. As he'll loft the ball to the left-hand flank, Tomasz Nagy gracefully bringing that one down as he looks to penetrate the 18-yard box, sends it across, and just over the bar as Sebagabo looked to receive that one. But lovely stuff from Cleveland SC early on.
That was beautiful. That entire play, absolutely beautiful. The ball over top to Tomasz Nagy. Talk about a first touch. I don't think that you can get much better than that. And oh so close. Both teams right now, Gianluca, showing that they are not afraid to go forward and try and score.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see in summer soccer in Cleveland. Some good end-to-end action. Of course, with two teams that have such a vibrant, lucrative attacking line, it's what we're hopefully going to be in for tonight. Looks like Ambassadors will be kind of defending, using those wing midfielders and more of a five-back, if you will. As it's with Bobby Turner, he'll loft the ball over the top. Melvin Gabla does well to stay on sides, but can't keep it in bounds. Oh, it looks like he was called off sides.
So yeah, he must have been just a step or two off. He looked on from up here, but
Classic commentators jinx.
absolutely.
Can only do so much about it. As Brendan French jousting in the middle for possession, and a lovely tackle by Keegan Dawson to win it back for the boys in orange. Of course, coming into this one after a absolutely brilliant 3-1 win over the Erie Commodores, Stanislav Koval, like we said, out with a red card and a 2-match suspension, but he opened the scoring. Frank Levette from the Commodores equalizing just before the half, and then the team went down to 10 men as Stas picked up that red, but nonetheless, here comes Amir Spratt. Have to set aside the previous matches until a later time, as Ambassadors coming up very quickly with that attack. Cleveland SC doing well with the damage control. And now it's back with Jordan Lewis.
And that's what both teams are going to have to do very often. You know, we just talked about how they both want to push up. They both want to try and create goals. But weathering the storm is going to be the big point here.
When Sebagabo is muscled off the ball by Randy Harris, who cuts to his right. He'll wind up a shot. Did it take a deflection? No. So he sent that one flying over the bar and out for a goal kick. Of course, Randy Harris coming off of a third-team All-Region honoree at Wilmington College, a team that of course, flies under the radar down in southwest Ohio just by Dayton. But the team was at the top of the entirety of Division III soccer for the most goals scored. Randy Harris was a huge part of that. Of course, transferred in from Malone, coming from the Port of Spain and Trinidad and Tobago. So he'll be one to watch alongside, as we said before, Amir Spratt, the conference's leading goal scorer, and a hopeful rising star at the University of Mount Union, a player that Dave Krems and them have clearly developed very well so far.
And say talk about a dynamic duo with both Spratt and Harris up top. Again, that Cleveland back line will be having their hands full all night long, for sure.
That back line, Turner, Dawson, Lewis, and Fuentes. No other four guys in Ohio that I trust with that kind of task. As that ball is flicked over the top and back with Cadence Robinson. He'll quickly just bring it to ground and back with Omar Najjar. Player, of course, no stranger to the defensive side of things. So now it's with Yoni Sorokin. He's dispossessed. Sorokin coming in from some D1 experience at UCF as well as UCLA. Coming from Jerusalem. Now Cleveland SC have an attack of their own as Gabla with a lovely little fake shot. Create some space from Akins, and as Ngunga tried the bicycle kick.
You can see him.
Something special there.
You can see him kind of just slap the ground after that. He knew what he wanted to do. The execution was absolutely there, just could not get. I believe he could not get his leg around in time to really try and come up with that, but. What a goal that could have been if he made the right contact.
Yeah, you love to see the ambition. You love to see the attempt. But, of course, there's a certain amount of the stars aligning in the universe to connect with a bicycle kick.
Absolutely.
But you love the effort as that one rolls out of bounds for a Cleveland SC throw. 8 minutes elapsing here at Finnie Stadium thus far. Gianluca Di Giacomo and Gavin Carrick. Christian Pagan, the man behind the scenes today. Justin Diedrich on the sideline. Shelby Gill on camera today, along with all of the other members of the Cleveland SC family making today possible. We said great night for soccer. It's a beach theme, as we said before. Unfortunately, I'm not in any possession of any beach shirts.
Me neither. Me neither. No
But
Hawaiian shirts, no lays, but still a great night though for a beach night.
absolutely, lots of beach balls and festive clothing coming from the audience so far. Bailey Major, one of our
Absolutely.
team managers on the touch line
Decked out.
with a Hawaiian shirt. Aaron Mati, our creative director, also living up to the theme. And meanwhile, at the grueling 89-degree temperature, I'm up here with black jeans and a polo shirt. But
Yep, me too. I had to bust out the khakis, feeling a bit like Jake from State Farm right
Yeah,
now.
of course.
But whatever keeps cool, whatever keeps cool.
Yeah, don't have a proper set of khaki shorts right now, and my legs are quite the pasty tone. Need some welding goggles to take a look at those bad boys. But in the meantime, Cleveland SC looking to build from the back. Yulito Fuentes finding Jordan Lewis. Nagy sends it to the left. That ball tapped out for a throw. As Fuentes will look for options. As Healy also drops into the mix. Falls to Melvin Gabla. The Liberian-born, but grew up in Northeast Ohio, played at the high school level for Lakewood, was an All-American during his time at the Purple and Yellow. Then has made his way around the horn from the collegiate side of things. Played currently at Southern New Hampshire, also played at NDC as well as Tiffin. He's been a very solid player up top. Dynamic winger, good pace, good field vision, a great accompaniment to a guys like Tomasz Nagy, guys like Steven Ngunga, guys like Stanislav Koval. As it's with Dutchman Sebagabo. Kiantuni. Cleveland SC building slowly but surely. And Ngunga turns straight into Ambassadors as Randy Harris tries to find Jordan Akins. He does.
And we have corrections on tonight's Ambassadors FC Ohio starting 11. Number 3 was Daniel Callahan. Number 6, Omar Najar. The captain.
Great work there from
Number 9, Amir Spratt.
Tomasz Nagy.
Number 13, Cadence Robinson. Number 15, Brendan French.
Lovely give and go as Sebagabo moves to the right.
Sorokin. Number 36, Matthew Skedlak.
Healy.
Number 37, Jordan Akins. Number 39, Jacob Irani. Number
Fuentes.
90, Randy Harris.
And that top forward intercepted nicely by Randy Harris. As Skladany sends it up to the left-hand flank for Brendan French. French racing down the line, lays it back off for Amir Spratt. And Keenan Tooney getting his hands dirty in the back as Cleveland SC wins possession.
Right now, going forward for Cleveland, it's just they're able to build. They're able to have that possession, but they can't find that last ball that they need to really try and send them in. But defensively, though, they're doing a great job. When Ambassadors does get possession, they haven't done too much with it so far. They've really been closed down very, very fast by that Cleveland midfield and back line.
Keenan Tooney tried to tap that one forward. A little bit of a swing and a miss. Nobody home. Now Ambassadors will look to build from the back. Cadence Robinson looking for some options as he sends it up. Amir Spratt pushed to the touchline by Yulito Fuentes as it's taken away. Lewis plays it wide right. Dawson with a lovely ball into the box with the outside of the boot, but couldn't quite reach its intended target of Kyle Healy crashing inside of the 18. "13 minutes passing thus far here at Finnie Stadium. O'Callahan sends it all the way to the opposite side of the pitch. Akins trying to make a run onto it, but bounces over the head of the former Mount Union player and out for another throw. Tooney sends it out wide for Fuentes. Brings it down nicely. Tries to find Sebagabo and just out of reach. With a lot of space to work with in behind, but can be a what if for Cleveland SC, and they hope not to have those opportunities add up too much as that one rolls out for a Cleveland SC throw.
I said they have had quite a few of those what ifs. Again, it's that last ball right there. Sebagabo had so much space, turned, just could not come down with the ball, could not get that clean touch. He was in, as well as having some runners in front to play ball in behind that Ambassador's back line, but again, it's just that last ball Cleveland has not been able to find so far.
Crunching tackle by Lewis, and Cleveland SC not too happy with that, but understandably so, as Jordan Lewis is coming behind off of that one.
Yeah, so that was always going to be called back. Coming through behind, like you said, through the legs of the opposition, that's always going to be called. Not too much for a card in that situation, but it's always going to be given as a foul.
This one booted up and falls to Randy Harris. Lucky touch out wide to Brendan French inside of the 18. Randy Harris trying to chase that one down, and Tooney tries to clear it away. It falls to Akins on the right-hand flank. His cross off of the upper back of Yulito Fuentes. Cleveland SC got to do some damage control here. And they do as Tooney finally sends it clear, but you see a little bit of space, and Tomasz Nagy just not able to bring that one down properly. So he can't find Gabla on the left-hand side. Now back with Ambassadors, trying to build up. It's taken away again, and Tooney will play it back to Fuentes. Turner threads one to Tomasz Nagy. Lovely winding ball out wide from Melvin Gabla. Wasn't able to control it. It's out for another Ambassador's throw.
Nice idea once again, just playing especially down that left-hand side. Cleveland SC has been doing a very good job of that so far during this first half. You also got to wonder, Gianluca, is that going to be their main attack so far? They've been really using both wings to their advantage quite a lot so far.
It'll be interesting, and you see what makes this team so interesting to watch, at least in the first 16 minutes of what we've seen, is how much they move as a unit. You know, they've had the numbers game offensively and defensively, but that also means they're quite prone to counterattack. So we'll see how they can do their best to neutralize such a pacey front three in Tomasz Nagy, Ngunga, and Melvin Gabla. Sebagabo tries to split the pair of French and Skladany. Deflects out for a throw-in for the boys in orange.
You can also see, too, how much the both fullbacks for Cleveland in the forms of Keegan Dawson and Oleto Fuentes, they love to push up. They're both very attacking-minded, as well as being good defensive players as well, but they love to push up, whipping crosses into the box. We'll see, too, throughout this match as it goes on, how much do they also play into the attack here tonight.
Yeah, and here's just an instance of that as Yulito Fuentes inverting, trying to make a run into the 18, trying to give Melvin Gabla some space, stays on his feet. And it's back to the right-hand side with Keegan Dawson. Gabla and Nagy doing well to fight through the pressure, tries to slide one through as Fuentes has joined the attack for a brief moment here. He stays on the wing. He slowly drops back as Cadence Robinson starts sending his men up for a long ball.
So this might just be what Ambassadors, they really need. Just get the ball up, try and relieve some of that defensive pressure that they've been under for probably, I'd say, the last 8-9 minutes or so. They did have that one chance a couple minutes ago, but couldn't do anything with it. But really, so far this match, it's been all Cleveland.
And here comes Yoni Sorokin. French cuts inside, met with a nice 50-50 challenge from Fuentes, and somehow trickles all the way up to the striker, Tomasz Nagy. And a nice tackle, Momar Najar on Sebagabo, and Cleveland's displaced. Harris shoots. Nagy comes up big with a nice stop. And Randy Harris doing a good job kind of slipping through the fingers of that Cleveland SC front line, but Ambassadors aren't done as a shot from French straight to Zoltan Nagy.
Huge save that was right there by Zoltan Nagy. He knew that he had to come out, make himself big. Well, it certainly helps when you're 6'6" in that like Zoltan Nagy is, but great save, big save. But again, that's just how fast Ambassadors can hit you. They haven't had too much in terms of possession, but all they need is that one chance, that one ball in behind, and they're in like they were in that chance right there.
Tomasz Nagy just tripping up Skladany in the center of the park. Skladany, no stranger to this pitch, is playing for, of course, actually Cleveland SC head coach Joe Jovanovski and assistant coach here at Baldwin Wallace. And Skladany racking up the years with that program coming from St. Edward. Akins trying to find his way around Fuentes. It's out for another throw. Harris taps it forward. Great cut through and a shot and a goal for Ambassadors. And the goals just keep coming for Amir Spratt, his 5th of the season, and sets him on the pedestal as officially the single highest scorer in the Great Lakes Conference. And just a little bit of technical work, doing a great job in the build-up, rounding around a couple of Cleveland SC defenders and taps it by. It's a confident finish, but Cleveland SC caught napping a little bit, Gavin.
Yeah, and that's all it takes, right? Like we just said, Gianluca, it's that one chance. That's all the Ambassadors need. A little bit of magic, like you talked about right there, by Amir Spratt, but there's a reason that he now leads this conference in goals. It's for plays like that. Some player that he is. What a finish, too. Technical ability on the ball was great. The finish was superb. And again, that's all the Ambassadors need, is that one chance. They had it, they took it, and now it's playing from behind for Cleveland.
Something that they're going to have to adjust to soon. As a great give and go, and Gunga will give up on it as Gabla taps it back. It was a great idea. Gunga just wasn't quite ready for it. Lovely touchdown by Yoni Sorokin. Still on it, intercepted by Kian Tooney. Sorokin not so happy about the no call, but Cleveland SC persists. Here's Tooney, sends it across, and Tomasz Nagy just a couple steps behind that run, and Cadence Robinson scoops it up in the middle of the box.
Great run and a great ball right there by Tooney as well. You can see that what he wanted to do. He wanted to whip that ball into the box. He also did have a runner going into the box as well, but elected to cross it inside. Not a bad option. Good ball, just like you said, a couple steps behind.
As Nagy looks to chase it down, O'Callahan's clearance is blocked. Ngunga one-times it in towards the end line. Malvin Gabla is cornered by the captain Omar Najjar. He decides to play it backwards. Now it's inside of the 18. Nagy winds one up at the near post, and that is a tremendous save by Cadence Robinson at the front post. And Nagy was the guy that salvaged a point for Cleveland SC in the matchup between these two just a week ago that ended up 1-1.
What a fantastic save by Cadence Robinson. Right place, right time. That ball was through a lot of bodies as well, Gianluca. I don't know if he saw that until the very last minute based on the reaction that he had, but what a save to keep this match 1-0. Wow.
And those are the toughest ones because there's a lot of traffic, a lot of congestion in front of you. If you don't save it, it's humiliating to get beat at the near post from 18 yards out. But if you do, it doesn't seem too flashy because you're so close to the ball. But there's a lot more that goes on mentally behind the scenes for a keeper there.
There absolutely certainly is.
As Amir Spratt brings it down. Lovely work from Yoni Sorokin. For that one-touch pass. He's been great in the center of the park today. Here he is again. O'Callahan. Aiden Eck was the goal scorer for Ambassadors in that 1-1 draw with Cleveland SC a week ago. Now it's sent up, and plenty of space here for Ambassadors to build up with Matthew Skladany. Akins on the right-hand flank. As Fuentes with a little tug, but not enough for the head official to call for a foul there, and it's out for a Cleveland SC goal kick, reaching about 24 minutes here at Finnie Stadium.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised to see him even go down right there. I didn't think there was too much in that challenge. Like you said, a little short tug, but nothing really too much in that.
And I think in that instance, definitely not enough to drag him down, but he was going off balance. The ball was out of reach.
Right.
No need in trying to flag that one down. And today we'll keep that streak up for Ambassador. They've scored in each of their first 5 games this season. As another giveaway, Sorokin on the counterattack. What a ball, and Amir Spratt is looking for a brace. Cuts inside, fires! Great save from Zoltan Nagy. And an excellent bit of 1- and 2-touch play there from Sorokin, Harris, and Spratt alike. That's an excellent build-up. You can't be too upset if you're Cleveland SC, but you've got to do a little bit better keeping tabs on that handful of dangerous players that Ambassador has going forward.
Some play that was from both the attack of Ambassadors and the save by Zoltan Nagy. I mean, what a save. That was such up close, but he had to make that split-second reaction save. Just what a great play all around from both teams.
Aiken boots it in at the back post. Looks like O'Callahan got his head to it. Now it's on the left-hand side with Tomasz Nagy. Was looking for a little bit of space to find Gabla through, but a pass in the center. Things could look a little bit more promising, and again, Ngunga's just a step behind. That one was absolutely hammered toward the right-hand flank. I mean, even if Ngunga was there, I'm not sure if he could get a proper touchdown to that one.
So he's a super fast winger, but I don't know if he's that fast.
Yeah, it's certainly asking a lot of him there as O'Callahan building from the back. Of course, a longtime player in the NPSL, jumping ship from Akron City FC. He played for the team last year. I believe the year before that as well, the Welshman. As Aikens' ball is blocked and out for a throw-in for the visitors. It's back Robinson's boot back into play. Aikens with a cheeky touch forward, but nobody there to run onto it. Now it's back with Bobby Turner. Cleveland SC looking to build up. Like I said, it's about that team movement, Gavin. I mean, a team that counterattacks so well, that seems to have so many bodies forward. Now look how compact, how condensed they are with a flat back 5 and 2 holding midfielders. I mean, this is a system that's very hard to break down.
It certainly is. I mean, it's almost like you're playing with a back 7, really, because if you want to drop those 2 CDMs into that back line, you absolutely can. To make it that back 7, you can also keep them kind of as those number 6s or drop in the wing backs as well. It's like you said, they're so defensively sound, but then when they go attack, they get so many bodies forward that it's like, where did these guys even come from? Because they're on you so fast.
It'll be a throw for Cleveland SC. Dawson sending it in. Cantooni taps it back for Jordan Lewis. Fuentes trying to find his way around Matthew Skladany. Gabla. Nice connection with Fuentes. Now Tomasz Nagy sending it all the way to the right, and Ngunga not able to track it down as it rolls out for another goal kick for Ambassadors.
Again, just talking about how much that these wingers are playing so far. They're both super pacey in the forms of Malvin Gabla and Steven Ngunga, but that final ball, it's just not there. It's either a step ahead, a step behind. There's too much power on it. I think if Cleveland wants to get back into this match and start creating chances like that, that's the one thing they're really going to have to to change, is how much that they're attacking the wings, and can they play that final ball?
It's Aiden Eck. Finds Skladany, who sends it through. A perfectly timed run by Amir Spratt. Can he get to it? He keeps it alive, but just taps it forward for Yulito Fuentes, who additionally draws the foul.
Good foul that was too, and again, a great track back right there by Yulito Fuentes. That's something that he does super well, and I think it's almost an underrated part of his game is how well that he defends. You know, we always see him go up, invert, you know, join into the attack, but he's a fantastic defender as a fullback as well.
Of course, a guy like Keegan Dawson, Joe Jovanovski moved from who usually played in the midfield to play in the back. And of course, you see those qualities of a player that knows both ends of the pitch in Yulito Fuentes, and that's perfect for a fullback, especially in the way that this team likes to build up out of this 4-3-3. Likes to have all the offensive support they can get.
And you'll see right now, I mean, Keegan Dawson, he's playing as a winger. He's playing on that back line right now as he begins to drop back. But again, it's these wing backs, they love to push up and join in on the attack.
Dawson linking up with Sebagabo as Healy lets that one by him. It was straight back to the opposition for a moment. Fuentes. Tooney. Cleveland SC continuing to coax it around the back. Still down 1-0 off a nice goal from Ambassadors Amir Spratt for his 5th on the year. So Robinson boots it back to around the midfield line. Lewis sends it forward. As Harris is tripped up by Tooney in the center, and it looks like Tooney getting the short end of the stick, possibly catching a cleat from Randy Harris as he went down.
Yes, it's just on the wrong end of that challenge. Looks to be in a little bit of discomfort. I would think he probably did get stepped on in the process.
Looks like they might be calling for a trainer here. Hopefully the damage not too severe, but of course if you get cleated, especially in the shin, it's no fun for anyone.
No, so those ones certainly do not feel good whatsoever. So again, like you said, hopefully it is just a little bit of soreness. Hopefully he did just get cleated, didn't pull something, didn't do anything to a muscle, something along those lines. You certainly don't want that.
Tooney's getting checked out. We'll refresh what's been going on with the Cleveland schedule so far this season. 2-1-1 coming into this one. The last 3 saw a 2-1 loss away from home at Rochester. And, of course, last Wednesday was that 1-1 draw against Ambassadors FC. And that 3-1 win down to 10 men against Erie this past Saturday. That leads us to today. So, of course, some mixed results across the board overall throughout these first 4 games. But of course, Ambassadors just about in the same boat with a 4-0 win to open the season against Syracuse, 2-1 loss to Flower City, that 1-1 draw, and then a narrow 1-0 win over Niagara, 18-12 to take them into today. But it's not looking great. Kean Tooney still getting checked out, still on the ground right now. We'll hope he's okay, but bench does have some good options to replace him if need be. Hayden Hafner and Omar Inga, the notable midfielders. Jaden Wright, and who turned out to be one of the heroes of last game, Nick Vaguahaley as the forwards, and Tapiwa Mushanga and Alex Rimlyansky in the defense. Ryan Poling rounding it out as the backup goalkeeper. As Tooney up on his feet, fortunately walking under his own power. We'll see if he's able to come back on. Of course, he'll have to be waved on by officials.
It's very good like you said, to see him get up and walk off under his own power. So that's definitely something that you want to see. And he looks from here to be walking around pretty good. So of course it's very, very good if he can continue. He's a big time presence in that midfield for Cleveland.
And yeah, it looks like he'll be checking on whenever the officials get a spare moment, but in the meantime, still committed the foul, so it'll be a free kick at midfield for Omar Najjar and Ambassadors. It's back out with Jordan Akins on that right-hand side. Lovely give and go with Amir Spratt. From Purple Raider to Purple Raider, and Spratt's shot off the crossbar from that angle. My goodness, how on earth do you find the target pressed along the end line like that?
My goodness, Amir Spratt, once again, like we said before, some player that he is. To even, like you said, find the target from that angle is almost impossible.
Nagy tries to turn, dispossessed by Omar Najjar. Dawson. Back with Kian Tooney returning to action. About 10 minutes to go of normal time in this first half at Finnie Stadium. That's a phenomenal one-time ball from Fuentes. Gablah's pass is blocked. Still with Cleveland. Nagy turns. Lovely tackle by Randy Harris to go to ground. Nagy, in a very ambitious effort, trying to nearly recreate the goal he scored in Canton against Ambassadors a week ago, but that one didn't stand a chance as it rolls out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you can see that that's what he always wanted to do in that situation right there. He was trying to line one up from distance. First time it got blocked. It came right back to him. Tried to line it up again, but well off. Didn't really get the power nor the accuracy. But like you said, he's got those in his back pocket. So you always want to close him down if you're the Ambassadors' back line.
Sorokin plays it back. French muscled off, but it's a foul against Cleveland. Akins, bodied off the ball by Fuentes, goes to ground to intercept that pass and send it straight up the line. We'll roll out for a Cleveland SC throw. Official, rightfully so, going to push them way back.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, Cleveland SC giving themselves a solid 15 yards of leeway there. Hammered across the pitch by Sabagabo. Dawson tracks it. French closing his legs in time to make sure that one didn't face the nutmeg. Fuentes joining the attack once again. He's got some room to work with. Taps it through. Tries to find Ngunga. And it's out for another corner kick. Cleveland SC looking to capitalize on one of these set pieces.
I'd say we saw them against Erie be very successful from set pieces. That's really what won them that match against the Commodores. So a team that likes set pieces, they know what they want to do. Can they find the head right now and try to even up this match?
From the far side, this one winding in and over the heads of the masses. And out all the way on the opposite side for an Ambassadors throw. Of course, Cleveland SC do have the field advantage here if they can just pin their opponents down. Their own defensive third and try and force a mistake. And a bit of a reckless tackle from Melvin Gablah. Excuse me, that's Sam Sebagabo.
Yeah, so it just came in a little bit late, came in pretty hot. So you can understand he wanted to go in to try and make that challenge to at least try and win the ball. Like you said, Cleveland did have ambassadors deep into their own territory, pretty close to the edge of the 18. So you would think if you win the ball back in a situation like that, you've got a really good chance at creating something.
Unfortunately, couldn't quite do that, though, as Najjar hammers it back down the opposite end of the pitch. So Randy Harris will let it roll out for an Ambassador's throw. Well, sent up, intercepted by Kian Tooney. Fuentes plays it back for Zoltan Nagy. He gets the ball taken off his boot, but unfortunately nothing untoward happening there.
Say a little sticky situation there that Nagy put himself into. As a goalie, say you never want to lose the ball and be out of position like he was right there, but lucky to have nothing come from it.
Skladany with a nice bit of skill, but unfortunately just guiding the ball out of bounds. And now Bobby Turner will have to track this down all the way on the near side. About 5 minutes of regulation left before we get into any added time, and given Tooney's injury, the goal celebrations will be a couple of minutes of cushion for both of these squads. Ball sent down the line. Tomasz Nagy chasing it down. Sends it across, and Gunga wasn't able to get a foot to it, but Cleveland FC is awarded a corner for their troubles.
And a great step right there. I believe that was Hayden Kaiser tracking back the midfielder.
Ball headed all the way back for Yulito Fuentes, trying to keep this in a menacing position for Cleveland SC. Also off one defender, and a lovely tackle by Akins. And it's another corner.
On Madison Avenue. Cleveland's home of F1
Again, just
and
the
Liverpool
pace
FC.
that Fuentes has. You can see how dangerous he is on the ball. Great control, great pace.
Corner.
Very tough to knock off the ball.
Ball sent in, headed away by Najjar. Fuentes. Winds it in, headed away once again.
Bar located at 13405 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Again, that's Iggy's Bar, home of F1 and Liverpool in Cleveland. It's a great place to
Turner.
catch a drink and watch a game and much more.
Zoltan Nagy facing a little bit of pressure from Ambassadors, but some space at the disposal of Sebagabo. Turner tries a long ball. Here comes Tomasz Nagy. And Cleveland SC could be onto something here. Nagy cuts inside. He's tripped up, or so we thought. Official in the center says no contact, but it was hard to tell, and Ambassadors are flagged for offsides. Fortunately, Randy Harris has barely mistimed his run, as that could have been a disaster for Cleveland. But from up here,
I would love to see
mean,
that
yeah,
again, Gianluca.
it's going to be hard to tell from the cameras up here, but that looked like a decent amount of contact on Tomasz Nagy in the box. But at the same time, it's so minimal that if you're an official and you don't have a really good look at it, you kind of have to bet against it, because calling a penalty off of a dive is going to be considerably worse than letting that one go.
Absolutely, it would be. It's a very tough situation. Again, up here, we are so far away from what's going on down there on the field. But
And creations.
it's a big moment in the match, though. Big moment.
Lovely bit of control as that ball is sliced through by Sebagabo, and Gabla not able to track it down.
Again, it's that last ball right now that Cleveland is missing. They're making the right runs, they're making the right passes. It's just being able to find that last ball. That's been their big struggle so far. If they can fix that, they would have a very good amount of opportunities.
Tooney intercepts, one-touch pass, tries to find Sebagabo again. Yeah, it's been the story of this first half. One touch away from something magic for Cleveland SC, and that one kept alive, but it will slowly tread all the way back for Bobby Turner.
And say it was that moment of magic that Ambassadors had in the form of Amir Sprat's goal. Could have had a second too if it wasn't denied by Zoltan Nagy, but that's really what this first half has been. It's been those little moments that have made big decision changes here in this match so far.
Tooney tries a bit of flair. The pass was blocked. It's back with Elvin Gabla, who's trying a little bit of free roam work, if you will, but taken away once again by Ambassadors. This one's sent up, and Harris is offsides. About 30 seconds left of regulation.
Off by just a little bit too. Again, those two up top for Ambassadors, so pacey. So you always have to make sure that you can play them at that high line, or else they're in behind.
Tooney, swing and a miss. Sprat's pass broken up by Kyle Healy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the 45th minute of play. The official time is kept by the officials on the field. We are now in
Sprat
stoppage time.
somehow getting out of that situation, and a shove from behind by Bobby Turner. Not going to get away with the arms extended like that.
Yeah, certainly not. So that's a case of the defender knew what he was doing. He knew that he wanted to make that foul, prevent Sprat from possibly going around and up the left wing side. So a smart foul, no card, and no harm done really either.
That free kick wasted by Ambassadors as it floats all the way back. Zoltan Nagy hammers one back up the pitch. O'Callahan winning that header, but Healy, a nice tackle on Aiden Eck. Stephen Ngunga on the right-hand side. Takes French on, beats him, and takes the foul, but not too much French can do about that, as you see Ngunga kind of lay into him, take the contact, and then go down.
Yeah, so there's nothing really that, like you said, that French can really do in that situation. But you know, this is a wonderful time right now for Cleveland. This is like what we saw when Erie came into town last week. Erie grabbed a goal into stoppage time, and the match went in 1-1 at the half. Can Cleveland do that now? Again, they're very dangerous from set pieces.
Big chance for the boys in orange. Spilling into additional time. Can they find the equalizer before the half? Ball whipped in at the near post, and thought they might have been going for something tricky, and Gabla just sends it out of bounds.
So that's just a case of a wonderful chance wasted right there for Cleveland, unfortunately, from their eyes. Kind of confused why it was sent to that near post. Maybe he was expecting a run. It looked like a shot from up here, but again, it's a chance gone by.
And with that, official points to the center circle, and that is the end of the first half at Finnie Stadium. And an early goal from Ambassadors Amir Sprat is what sets these two teams apart, as the visitors have that 1-0 advantage over Cleveland SC. Gavin, so far, like we said, we've seen some really solid stuff from Cleveland SC. The work ethic, the build-up, the passing, the space. But every single chance has been marred. That finishing touch hasn't quite been there yet.
Yeah, so they have had so much possession so far during this first half. Again, like you said, they've created the chances, they've created the passes, they've created the balls down the wing into the box. They've had very good chances. Again, it's been that last ball, it's been that last pass, it's been that last touch that's let them down so far during this match. If they do fix that, they've got so many chances in this first half, but they haven't been able to capitalize.
Absolutely. Two teams that have very different dynamics between the two, like we said. I mean, Ambassadors has been a tough nut to crack thus far. The team movement, the compactness in the back, it's been telling. It's hard for Cleveland SC to break that down, but it's also tough because when you do break that down, you want to get a result out of it because you know that your chances are slightly limited. And I think that's been kind of the delay for Cleveland SC. But like we said, I mean, Ambassadors, their build-up play, their switches from defense to offense, the counterattacks, it's been hard to break. Like we said, Randy Harris and Amir Spratt cover up so much ground, can create so many dangerous plays out of thin air. I mean, it can be difficult. It can be difficult to keep tabs on the two, especially when you have the occasional player kind of crashing in every now and again. But I guess we'll have to see how the second half treats both of these teams. Both coaches are, I'm sure, going to make some tactical adjustments. They're going to try and figure things out. But until then, we'll see what the second half gives us. And with that, we'll step aside here on YouTube. Gavin Kerrigan, Gianluca Di Giacomo. We'll be heading off for halftime. The second half of action just around the corner. Don't go anywhere. live, George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University in beautiful Berea, Ohio. I've waited a long time to say it's NPSL soccer time.
Our touchline said, but just lacking the finishing right there. But again, another fantastic chance.
When Gabla taps it forward, Tomasz Nagy plays it behind Gabla, falls to Koval! And Cleveland SC opened the bank account at Finnie Stadium with none other than the Ukrainian, keeping his track record as a Golden Boot race member. And that missile from Frank Levette turned the tides as Nagy wins the ball.
Zoltan.
Ball flicked through nicely by Harry Lee. Big chance here for Erie as that shot blocked and cleared away by Mushonga as Worsner had a fairly solid look for Tooth going for broke. That shot also blocked. Up the pitch as Worsner controls it and sends it out wide to the left. Huge chance for the Commodores, and Zoltan Nagy throwing his body down on top of the ball. Cleveland SC fans not too happy as Treganson goes to ground. Herman Unberg. Handful of step overs. Tries to get McDonald to break, and he trips himself up. Ngunga whips it in, goes over the head, takes a bounce and in! Oh my goodness, can you believe it? How on earth has that creeped its way into the left-hand corner? Cleveland SC take the lead in the 85th minute of play at Finnie Stadium.
It depends on it, because those 3 points absolutely do.
Yeah, it's going to take a big defensive effort for these final 5 minutes and change as Greggs penetrates the 18, tries to send it across. Good look, the cross coming in. Nagy jumping on top of it. This is their quality of chances. We thought that maybe this game was out of reach for Cleveland SC, but it was the hero man off the bench, Steven Ngunga, and what a header win! And there's the icing on the cake. Cleveland SC, my goodness, as Nicholas Vagla-Haley taps it in off the header. That one quite blatant, and the referee points to the center spot, and against all odds, Cleveland SC are victorious in their home opener, 3-1 over the Erie Commodores. Kevin, what a match we've just seen in front of our eyes. Hopefully a testament to the excitement that we'll see for the last 4 games at home.
It's post-game here at Finnie Stadium. Cleveland SC takes the win versus Erie 3-1. I'm here with Coach as well as Zoltan Nagy. Coach, to get the home opener win here in front of the Cleveland fans, what does that mean for you?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, anytime you could get 3 points in this conference is huge. So for us to, open the season up at home with a win is massive for us.
Zoltan, the Erie had a lot more chances in the second half than they did in that first half. How proud of you of your defense for holding and keeping them to 0?
I mean, yeah, we did a great job. Went down a man early into that second half and kind of just stuck on. And, we were playing 4 in the back, changed to 3 back, and the guys still did what they needed to do and clear the ball.
Obviously, a win here is huge, guys, but is there anything you're looking to improve on coming into that next game on Wednesday?
I mean, I think the improvement happened tonight. I mean, we have a lot of new faces, a lot of new players, a lot of new starters. And, for me, we just needed a gritty win like that. For us to go down a man, and it was a team win. I mean, we had guys come off the bench and scored the game winner, and then Nick sealed the deal. So I think that the improvement just happened in that second half. So I'm in a really good space.
You're going to hear from Coach and Zoltan Nagy. Back up to the booth, Cleveland SC with a 3-1 win. We'll be back on Wednesday at Finnie Stadium.
Thanks, guys. Be there.
Thank you.
we're back live from George Finnie Stadium, Berea, Ohio, Baldwin Wallace University, NPSL action match day 5 as Cleveland SC currently trailing the visitors in Ambassadors FC Ohio 1-0 after an early goal from Amir Spratt. Gianluca Di Giacomo and Gavin Carriage on the call. And before we get into anything, want a big thank you to Iggy's Bar, the official bar of Cleveland SC and a proud supporter of soccer in Cleveland. Iggy's is a local favorite in Lakewood, known for its welcoming atmosphere, great drinks, and strong connection to the Cleveland soccer community. It's the go-to spot for fans to gather, watch matches, and celebrate the game we all love. Whether you're catching a Cleveland SC match or the latest Premier League action, Iggy's brings people together for an unforgettable soccer experience. Their passion for the sport runs as deep as ours, and we're proud to have them as a part of the team. So next time you're off the pitch, head to Iggy's, where the soccer never stops. And Gavin, you know, we talked about a player before the game, and today he has delivered, and that's Ambassadors' striker Amir Spratt, as you see on the graphic on your screen now. Not updated as he does officially take this pedestal, 5 goals through 5 matches, which sets him at the top of the Great Lakes Conference.
Yeah, some player he is, and what a goal that he had too. It was that moment of magic, beautiful first touch, able to keep it under control. Then the shot too, it was cool, it was calm, it was composed. He also could have had 2. I mean, this guy is lethal in front of net. He is such a good finisher, and we saw it in his goal. We've seen it all throughout the first half, so Cleveland will need to be on top of their game defensively to stop him, as well as his strike partnership with Randy Harris. Those two are so tough to stop.
And those two, they will be a telltale of the challenges that Cleveland SC are probably going to have to face in the second 45. But with that, of course, a solid talking to by Joe Jovanovski, some tactical adjustments. We could be in for the long ride. Of course, this team had the odds stacked against them last time with the 1-1 draw, down to 10 men, and they picked up a 3-1 win anyway. So anything can happen as this second half of action will be ready to kick off in just a moment. Doesn't look like any substitutes for either side heading out of the half. And just as I say that, Parker Cesar, the substitute for Ambassadors FC, kicks things off. And that will be some fresh legs in the center, up front, what have you. As I believe he subs in for Matthew Scladani in the midfield. Of course, playing at Cleveland State, was a legend at Medina High School, then played in the 4th division of the professional ranks in Poland, now with the Cleveland Crunch, alongside a handful of other players for this Ambassadors team. Brendan Swan still on the bench for the team. Diego Pinto has 2 goals on the year, did not dress for today. And of course, like we said, the captain Omar Najar in the back, who's done a great job of steering his ship towards success tonight. It's back with Bobby Turner as Cleveland SC, facing quite the compact 5-3-2 side in Ambassadors so far. Sebagabo. Back with Bobby Turner. Sees Ngunga taking off, splits in between the defense, and that's a lovely play there from Alex Depperschmidt. Another substitute at the half, another University of Mount Union player. Another player who's grown tremendously throughout the last couple of years with the Purple Raiders. Coming in from Mansfield, Ohio. Had a very solid season with the Purple Raiders this past fall. Team stacked up a good bit of wins, losing in the OAC semifinal. But with that, we'll see what kind of impact he makes, seemingly towards the back for the squad. It's played through. Here's Sebagabo. Tries to find his way around O'Callahan, but runs into Depperschmidt in the process.
So that's certainly a better first touch from Cleveland, just on the edge of that 18-yard box. That's something in the first half that we talked about all first half long. It seemed that Cleveland could not get that first touchdown. It was always that first touch that let them down. Great first touch right there, but just no one really to help around him in support.
Jordan Lewis heads it forward. Gets past Fuentes, gets past Akins, falls to Gabla. Nagy not able to bring it down. Now Jacob Urani. Went up and booted up and away. And out for a Cleveland SC throw. Oh, and that pass intercepted nicely. And Ambassadors are on the counterattack. Ball played through Randy Harris, tracking it down. Offsides flag stays down. A big look, and he just trips himself up as he tries to get through. And the victim of the turf monster at Finnie Stadium. Now on the other hand, here comes the Liberian Malvin Gabla. Cleveland SC looking for an equalizer early in the second half. Tomasz Nagy, edge of the 18, tries to bend one around, and it's deflected out for a corner kick. Some solid end-to-end action in the first 4 minutes of this second half so far.
Say, Turf Monster is right. Randy Harris, you got to feel for him because what a beautiful ball it was out to him on that left wing side. Tried to cut in onto his right and have a go, but just fell over on top of himself, really.
This one chopped across, falls to the top of the 18. Sebagabo tries to wind one up, misses. Fuentes from distance. Ho, ho, ho. An ambitious effort, and it hits that back wheel at the near post and out for a goal kick. But you love to see Cleveland SC putting some pressure on this Ambassadors back line early.
And not far that was too. Fuentes, if he hit that just maybe a couple inches more to the right-hand side, would have at least hit the post and came back out. Great start, though, from Cleveland. Really great start from both teams for this second half of play.
This one hammered forward off of the back of Omar Najjar. Dawson will switch the field. Sebagabo tries to find Ngunga. Sebagabo will bring it down again. Back with Jordan Lewis. Cleveland SC trying to choose their battles wisely, heading into a traffic with plenty of white jerseys. Is back with Dawson on the right-hand flank. Depperschmidt there to dispossess. And Tooney running in his way, and no questions asked. It's going to be a yellow card for that foul in transition for the Irishman.
Yeah, so that's a foul all day long. Again, it's a case of he knew what he was doing. He was trying to stop the counterattack, which he did, but it comes at the cost of a yellow card for himself. And now it's going to have to play a little bit more cautiously.
And now making room for two graduated John Carroll Blue Streaks, Jaden Wright and Hayden Hafner, making the roster at the last second today. Coming in for Gavin Heiberger and another Carroll man, Logan Penton, who wasn't able to make it, but they're looking to make an impact as Sebagabo and Ngunga step off. After a well-earned rest, 50 minutes, those two were on their high horse. We're just about all 50, but we'll see what they can do. Jaden Wright, of course, having some D1 experience at the University of Akron before playing his final 3 years of eligibility with the Blue Streaks. There's Hayden Hafner playing all 5 years with the squad. And of course, past their collegiate days, we'll see what they're made of for Cleveland SC in these final 40 minutes. Comes the Israeli Yoni Sorokin. Crunching tackle by Bobby Turner. Spratt falls onto it. What a turn by Amir Spratt. Oh my goodness, what a goal. Goal number 6, absolute filth from the striker. And we might be Cleveland SC broadcasters, Gavin, but my goodness, what a solo run from the forward. And he doubles the advantage for Ambassadors.
Wow. I mean, what else can you say, Gianluca? That was spectacular. What a goal. It was the touch. It was the turn. It was the strive to get into the box. It was the finish. Wow.
And a bit of composure as well in front when you're facing a guy as big as Zoltan Nagy. And this is when it gets tough. Joe Jovanovski talking to his team, getting all of the tactics situated, trying to figure out what's going to work in the second half. You don't want all of that to be thrown away after an early goal. It took 5 minutes for this team to pull a rabbit out of the magic hat. But now the team, they've got to keep their heads screwed on straight and finish strong in these final 40 minutes. But, I mean, if you're Ambassadors, now all you got to do is settle in. You've got a perfect formation if you want to park the bus. It's going to be really tough as Cleveland SC have dug themselves an even deeper hole. As you can criticize the gaps in the defense all you want, but Amir Spratt has done a tremendous job on quite the foxy turn, a great finish. And he just made that gap between him and the second place man in the conference for top goal scorer a little bit bigger, his 6th in 5 matches, as that one is played behind Yulito Fuentes.
And he made that goal look so easy. So easy. Again, it was the turn, it was the finish, like you said. He had to have that little bit of composure too. And that's all it takes for him. Again, he makes it look so easy. We know it's not, but he makes it look like it is. And just like that, it's 2-0.
Played through, and a no-nonsense clearance from the Otterbein midfielder, Jacob Irani. Usually plays in the middle, a bit more of a box-to-box goal with Jason Griffiths and the Cardinals, but playing in the back for Ambassadors today. This one whipped in at the back post. Just grazes the top of the head of O'Callahan. Gabla not able to beat Depperschmidt. Wins it, but draws a foul. In the meantime, that's a Depperschmidt. He's a bit of a leaner dude, but don't let that fool you. He's a very, very strong player. Very gritty. Gets in the heads of other players without saying a word, quite frankly. Just a thorn in the side of whoever plays him, and that's what makes him such a tremendous piece to any team on the wing.
So that's what we just saw right there. Again, it was a tough play going up against the player and the touchline as well. Being strong, being able to fend off both the player and keep the ball in bounds and win a free kick in the process.
Harris plays it out wide right for Jordan Akins. Akins cuts inside, goes to ground, winning the ball. Hayden Hafner gets it back. Akins' pass into desolation. Melvin Gabla tracks it down. Cleveland SC yearning to push forward as Dawson plays a ball through. Jaden Wright tracks it down. His first touches on the field, wrestling with a former teammate in Dan O'Callahan as he used to play for Akron City. Cleveland SC have won it back. Healy at the edge of the 18's got some breathing room, but his shot straight to Cadence Robinson.
But that is much better. Much, much better from Cleveland right there. Again, it's getting up. It's getting that first touch. That's what happens when they keep that ball under control. They're able to create a chance, and a good chance, too, for Jaden Wright, and then coming up on that Kyle Healy as well. Unfortunately, the shot was just right at Cadence Robinson, but again, it's a good chance. It's a good opportunity to create, and that's something that you want to build on.
Tooney tries to send a ball through. Too much on it.
Visit ebay.com/STR. Wicked discounts for more information.
This one hammered away. Touchdown beautifully by Jordan Akins. Tries to find Harris. Couple unfortunate deflections for Cleveland SC. It's still with the opposition. Eck sees an overlapping Depperschmidt. Depperschmidt sending it across. Misses a couple, and Harris didn't get all of that on that touch in the center. Ball heads out of bounds and out for a throw, and a tough landing for Parker Cesar. Just making a run, a light push from Fuentes, but yes, Cesar just landed really awkwardly on the ball. Tough play for the midfielder. Let's hope he's okay. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him, or of course it's easy to feel a little bit of bruising when you land on a ball like that. Hope it's nothing more than that.
Yeah, I say hopefully it's just the wind knocked out of him. Did land pretty awkwardly in the end there, but it's good to see that he is up as the trainer comes over to him, I believe.
Hopefully he can be waved on in a moment, but in the meantime, Israelioni Sorokin winning it back. A tough collision, and Jordan Lewis just kind of came in with a head of steam, not able to track his momentum in time, and this is a tasty-looking free kick for Ambassadors.
Yes, this is one where you can really go in two minds, Gianluca. You can either have a go straight from the free kick, or you can try and play it into that back post, win it down, header on goal or header back across the goal frame and really try and have someone come up with it.
And we'll see what they opt for here, and it looks like Parker Cesar is going to be done for the day. Unless the substitute will be for another field player. So it looks like Cesar might be done. There's no other players stepping off. And in the meantime, that is Max Brown checking in the back. As Aiden Eck has this free kick. Sends in a winding ball at the back post. It's touchdown and some extracurriculars off the ball, but it'll be an offsides against Ambassadors. But Max Brown checking in. Started his career at the University of Pittsburgh when they were one of the top teams in the nation. Transferred to Cleveland State University, then finishing up his collegiate career at Cedarville. Played part of that 2022 inaugural USL 2 side in the Cleveland Force. Really solid player in the back
Ambassadors FC Ohio
to have for this
substitution
team.
number 88, Maxwell Brown.
Long ball comes in, brought down by Randy Harris, but bit of a heavy touch off the chest. Couple changes in possession, and Randy Harris has it, trying to create some space. Wins it off of Dawson. A lovely tackle from Melvin Gablau. Great work for Ambassadors. Their press after possession loss has been a huge component to their success tonight. Here's Amir Spratt. See if he can do it himself in the box again. It falls to Aiden Eck. He'll wind up a shot at the near post and forces a quality stop out of Zoltan Nagy.
Very good stop, like you said, but it almost looks too easy right now for Ambassadors, just the way that they're building up. It's Spratt, it's Harris, it's Eck, it's Jordan Akins. These guys are really getting in all match long. They've been doing it all night, and at this point, being up 2-0, it's almost like they're playing carefree.
Akins whips one in. Once again, over the heads of the masses, and O'Callaghan will do his best to track it down, but to no avail. Cleveland SC have got to start moving with a sense of urgency here. 30 minutes left, down 2-0. It's a brace from Amir Spratt. They've got their work cut out for them in just half an hour to check all those boxes off their checklist.
Yeah, they certainly do, but I mean, not even a week ago, we saw this team score 2 goals being down to 10 men against Erie. So they're down, but they're not out. But like you said, time is certainly running out. About half an hour or so. You want to pull one back sooner rather than later.
Tomasz Nagy Hafner, tries the one touch to Fuentes through, and it was a great idea. Just didn't quite have the execution. Hayden Eck beats Tooney. He's still on it, but opts to play it back to Depperschmidt. Brown winds one up. It's taken away. Turner's one-touch pass falls to Tomasz Nagy, the top of the box, and got too much under it. It is sent flying over the bar and out for another goal kick.
Very good chance that was right there for Tomasz Nagy. You don't mind the shot. You want to see your striker have shots on net or an attempted shot on net, but I'm not sure in that situation if the shot was the right decision because he did have some runners in front of him. But again, it's another what if right now for Cleveland.
Hayden Eck dribbles himself into some trouble, and it's taken away. Now Jaden Wright, let's see what he's made of as he pushes it to the far side. Melvin Gabla cuts, beats Depperschmidt off the dribble. Ooh, and another nutmeg on Depperschmidt. Gabla still on it. Tries to keep it alive, and it's a heavenly run with a rather anticlimactic ending as he dribbles it into some traffic.
So just found too many bodies right there, but what a run. What a run that was. You would have liked to see him maybe give the ball up a little bit sooner, try and find someone in the box. He had a couple of options. But again, they're creating those chances. The more chances are being created right now, and that's what you want to see.
O'Callahan's pass, intercepted by Fuentes. Lovely tackle from Jordan Akins. Falls in the box to Penton, Hafner, who sends it back to Kean Tooney. Dawson grounds one in the middle, nobody home. Akins clears it away, and Spratt, hooch. And it's a handball against Zoltan Nagy, and a yellow card for the keeper.
I was just going to say, Gianluca, from here it looked like that ball hit off his hand. I don't think he directly touched it. I don't believe, which I'm assuming is why it's not a red. I think
it's a tough
that
one.
It is. It's very tough. I think that he involuntarily, the ball hit his hand. I believe. I could be completely wrong.
No, but in a matter like that,
it's very tough.
His arm is in a natural state.
Right.
It's as close to his body as he can get.
Right.
At least from this angle, but interesting there from the official.
Very interesting. I mean, nothing came of it, but still it's one where, you think as a goalkeeper, I mean, what else can I do,
Hafner loses sight of that one. Depperschmidt finds Jacob Udani. Another sub waiting to check on here for Ambassadors.
With offices in Canfield and Liberty, with a mission to provide compassionate, client-focused care, they offer individual couples and family therapy in a supportive, professional environment. Their licensed team is dedicated to helping.
Ball's played through. They're looking for an offsides whistle, and they get it.
Healthier, more fulfilling lives.
Just wanted to hold off to be sure there.
FirstHillCounseling.com for more
And here comes the substitution for Ambassadors. So it looks like Randy Harris will take a seat after a very solid run up top. Official tells Cleveland SC to wait for the whistle. I believe that's Josh Lord, it is. Started his career at Malone this past fall, transferred to Otterbein University. Was a star man at Brunswick High School for quite some time. Looking to make an impact for Ambassadors. Standing in at 6'3". He's got some athleticism with him as well, but might just be used for some hold-up play and as a target man, as his team already has a rather comfortable advantage with under 25 minutes to go now. Depperschmidt twisting, turning, finds Hayden Eck. Irani. Akins whips in a lovely grounded ball, and Josh Lord's first touch on the pitch could have been a goal, but he sends that one flying over the bar.
Josh Lord.
And here comes a familiar face, a Cleveland Crunch player, a former Cleveland SC player, former Akron City FC player, or so we thought. Officials there hold off on the sub, or so we thought. Here, O'Callahan steps off, and in comes Brendan Swan, another John Carroll grad. Had a 5-year tenure with the Blue Streaks, similar to Jaden Wright and Hayden Hafner. Now he steps on after being a reserve player. Saw some action in a handful of matches for the Cleveland Crunch this past winter and spring.
Master substitutions number 3.
Healy plays it back to Bobby Turner.
Dan O'Callahan in with number 2.
This one sent over the top. Jaden Wright has a great look. Stumbling into the box, still on it. Whips it in, chested down by Hafner. It's played back. That one could have gone either way, but again, it would have been more of a harsh call if they give that an indirect free kick than harsh if he just let it go. As Jaden Wright now back turn to goal. Tries to play it through. Tomasz Nagy not able to navigate his way around that play. About 20 minutes left. Things are looking tough for Cleveland SC as the chance of a comeback dwindling with each passing minute.
See, we did say probably, I don't know, about 10-ish minutes ago, around that 60-minute mark, that's when you would have liked to have gotten at least one back. And now it's, like you said, time is dwindling, 20 minutes left, plus whatever's added on.
Here's Tomasz Nagy. Cleveland SC trying to bring some bodies forward as Yulito Fuentes' pass broken up. Right back with him. Great give and go. Fuentes crashing into the box. Sends it across, but it's a corner kick. Or not. Thought that took a deflection, but it didn't. And here comes the substitution for Cleveland SC. As Malvin Gabla comes off. And in comes Alex Rumlyansky. So taking off a winger to put in a defender. And it looks like they'll just make some adjustments in the midfield and move Hayden Hafner onto the wing. Certainly had his fair share of time on the wing at JCU. We'll see how these adjustments work as Jaden Wright has moved to the center. Tomasz Nagy will be on the wing. Eck curls the ball to the far side to Depperschmidt. Kiantooney trips a couple of times. Back with Robinson.
Into the match.
Max Brown sends it up.
For number 12, Malvin Gabla.
And Nagy has it in the back. Long ball far out of reach for anyone except the keeper, Caden Robinson. Brendan Swan. Plays one out wide to Jacob Arani. And Fuentes hustles the ball off of Jordan Akins. Dawson pushing forward. Tomasz Nagy on the wing. Jaden Wright. Back to Nagy. Tooney. Ball whipped forward by Turner. Tries to find Healy. So Rorkin looked like he touched that right down for Fuentes, but he couldn't get to it. Now here comes Amir Spratt. And just look at the pace on Amir Spratt as he looks to penetrate inside of the 18. He's looking for a hat trick. Another great turn and drifts it wide. And this would have been one of the most phenomenal hat tricks I've ever called a game for if Amir Spratt somehow managed to sneak that one into the bottom corner.
If he finished that, Gianluca, I think I might have stood out of my seat and just applauded. What a goal that would have been.
Here comes Jaden Wright sprinting down the wing. Ball squared across, just enough of a touch from Max Brown. Hafner struggling to keep this one alive. Healy tries to play Rumliansky, who looks to join the attack. And it's cleared away. And now Cleveland SC starts anew with Jordan Lewis. Lewis tries to ping a ball, and no one was ready for it. See some kind of clashes in terms of position with Tomasz Nagy and Jaden Wright. Neither of them seem to be quite on the same page just yet.
Yeah, I said they've come close quite a few times of linking up the 1-2 play between the two of them, but like you said, to no avail so far.
Rumliansky won the first header. Nobody won the second one. Ball sent through. Here comes Spratt through on goal. Can he make it a hat trick? Saved by Nagy, and it's dragged wide.
Tell you what, Spratt could have 4 or 5 goals in this match alone, Gianluca.
Yeah, I mean, Nagy has saved 2 very promising chances. He just drifted that last one a little bit wide, and of course he scored 2. I mean, he has been wreaking havoc up top all night long. No matter how much assistance he has up there, whether it's 3 guys joining the attack or it's just himself,
Ambassadors FC corner.
he has made the most of each and every opportunity. He's also given his squad a corner kick at their disposal as Rumliansky heads that one clear. And Ambassadors will be checking on another player in a second here. So it's going to be either Ben Mihalik or Reese Utter, or both of them, as now 2 players on the sideline to empty out their bench for today. Mihalik stepping in from Baldwin Wallace University in Hudson, Ohio. Reese Utter, another member of that blue-collar fist-to-face Mount Union side. Ball headed away, falls to Josh Lord. It's a good look for Ambassadors, but Lord will opt to play it back with Max Brown. 15 minutes, under 15 minutes for Cleveland SC to muster up something positive as this one's threaded through. Depperschmidt at the near post just about puts this game to bed. And when I was talking before, Gavin, about Alex Depperschmidt being an end-to-end player, I was not exaggerating. Finds the space, threads through a 3rd goal on the night, and Cleveland SC are paralyzed by this Ambassador side.
Yeah, you were not kidding. Gianluca, you were not kidding. And it's such a simple goal, too. It's such a simple goal. The back line was high. Beautiful ball played in behind that line. Depperschmidt, I mean, he had acres of space to run into, number 1. The touch, he could have taken 5 business days, and he would have been just fine. He had so much time. He could pick where he wanted to go and beat Zoltan Nagy. There's nothing he could do. There's nothing he could do. The defenders left him out to dry in a situation like that. And with that goal, 3-0, less than 15 to play. I mean, that's pretty much 3 points guaranteed right there for Ambassadors, and that's a big 3 points too for them.
Without question, as that would get them at the top of the table above Flower City Union, at least from a technical perspective, of course. Every team plays an equal amount of games, but the points per game ratio is what sets the teams apart, of course, until they're all level on matches played. But that'll get them above Flower City from an objective standpoint, that is, at the top of the table. Of course, Flower City will have 2 games in hand after this as Nagy winds up a shot. It's blocked by Yoni Sororkin. Great tackle by Kean Tooney as he's hit by Sororkin, who got a little bit of get back there. And it'll be a free kick now for Cleveland SC. And it was all Purple Raiders dominating the scoring. Zamir Spratt found the first 2. Alex Depperschmidt found the third, which may as well be the nail in the coffin with about 11 and a half minutes left of regulation. And Yoni Sororkin goes in the books. Official did not seem intent on booking him until might have been saying some things not to the official's liking. And now Fuentes has a free kick, and hey, I mean, if there's any time for Cleveland SC to try and fuel a comeback, it's going to be with this kick of the ball. As Fuentes whips it in at the back post. Touchdown! What a save by Cadence Robinson, and I don't know if I'm more impressed by that last-ditch reflex stop or if the fact that somebody got a boot to that one in the first place.
How about both? How about both?
And Cleveland SC are still on the prowl. Fuentes whips in a ball. Najjar heads it clear. Lewis tries a ball at the far side. It's not going to work. Hafner heads it forward. I'll tap through. A shot from Hafner. Another great save as Nick Vagua-Haley was that sub that checked on for Cleveland SC. You like to see this tenacity up front, but might be too little too late for that. That pass straight to the path of Yulito Fuentes. The return touch was just a little heavy as Reesauter won it back for the away team. Looks like it's an offsides call.
With 6 locations across Northeast Ohio, including Tremont, Cleveland Heights, Shaker Heights, Lakewood, North Olmsted, and Chesterland. We're known for our build-your-own tacos, burritos, bowls, and quesadillas, all made with fresh ingredients, handcrafted salsas, and crave-worthy recipes served in a vibrant, casual setting. Whether you're grabbing a quick bite, feeding the whole family, or ordering on game day, La Ruta delivers flavor, flexibility, and fun. Visit cilantrotaqueria.com for more information.
So Omar Najjar hammers this one up and away. Play as Jaden Wright's dragged down. Yoni Sororkin's already on a yellow card, so he's got to be a little careful. I think in any other instance, if the Israeli wasn't already in the books, that certainly would have been a yellow, but by no means worthy of sending him off.
No, so it's nothing really, any really malicious intent in that, but like you said, if he wasn't already on a yellow, that certainly would have been right there.
Now Rumliansky plays it forward. Cleveland SC only have a handful more opportunities to get forward with just under 10 minutes left of regulation. Hafner's ball back, forced a little bit of a chase for Jordan Lewis. Keegan Dawson moves more to his home location of central midfield after the substitution earlier.
Cleveland SC would like to give
And another sub as Zoltan Nagy checking off, interestingly enough, and they're going to give the final 8 or so minutes of this game to Ryan Poling, the Cleveland State University product from Avon.
Shout out to you again. That's tonight's match ball sponsor.
As we said before, if Cleveland SC are going to muster even a point out of this game, it's going to take a miracle.
Say it most certainly will, but you'd like to try and at least grab one, maybe two would be pushing it, but try and give you some type of momentum that you can take, saying, hey, maybe we didn't play the best, we didn't defend the best, but if we can score, grab some goals for the squad, and you also never know at the end of the year how much the goal differential could play into a part in the standings as well. Once all teams play their 10 matches, you never know if a goal or not could, depend if you're in the playoffs or not.
Well thrown in for Alex Rimlyansky. Fuentes grabbed fairly blatantly by Brendan Swan. But Cleveland SC will waste no time in getting things restarted. Yoni Sorokin wins it back. Maxwell Brown hammers it clear. Ball threaded forward for Jaden Wright on the left-hand side. He takes on Omar Najjar, two former bitter rivals between Mount Union and John Carroll. It's tapped out for a throw, and they're going to give it to Dawson, and that means that Cleveland SC are going to crash into the box and hope for the best on this long throw. Launching it forward, headed away by Brown. Still in a position of menace, though. Healy will let it roll out on the far side, and it looks like Dawson will follow suit. Dawson tries another long throw. A couple guys getting up. Jaden Wright won the first header. It's cleared away again. And Dawson's going to sprint all the way to the opposite end of the pitch again for a third consecutive long throw.
He is certainly getting his cardio in towards the end of this match. That's for sure.
Whether you're searching for rare finds, graded cards, or exciting breaks, Wicked Discounts delivers.
This one bolts forward, takes a big bounce in the box in a pocket of space, but it's dealt with nicely by the captain, Omar Najjar. How many times have we said that today? And a bad touch by Tapiwa Mushanga, who not sure when he checked on, but completely missed that sub. Just a couple minutes ago, and we got about 5 minutes left here at Finnie Stadium. Cleveland SC still down 3-0 as Josh Lord takes it away from Rumlyansky. To switch the field, Mushanga slows the ball down, and Lewis controls. Now Tomasz Nagy's got some space. Cuts inside, tries to tap it to Mushanga. And Ambassadors may be looking for a fourth. Reese Utter accelerating. Oh my goodness, Ambassadors could find four. Pulling one-on-one, and what a finish from Reese Utter. It's 4 goals for Ambassadors, 4 goals for Mount Union Purple Raiders, and things just got that much more grim for Cleveland SC.
I mean, my oh my, what a counterattack from Ambassadors that was. I mean, it's one that really shouldn't even happen, Gianluca. Cleveland had 4 or 5 guys back from defending as they were going to try and push up, try and get something, maybe 1 goal you would think. But instead, it's the 2 Ambassadors. Beautiful 1-2 passing between the 2. And such a cool, calm finish in the end. But again, it's one that shouldn't even happen. If you're Cleveland and you have 4 or 5 guys back and Ambassadors are only rushing 2, you shouldn't even be caught out like that. But they were, and that's how this match has gone.
Hafner drills it up, and Robinson brings it down, and that frustration is penting up for this Cleveland SC team.
It's almost crazy to think that, you know, on this day last week that this match was 1-1. You can clearly tell the Ambassadors, they knew what they wanted to change. It was their formation. It was how that they played. Cleveland really hasn't, and you can see in the 4-0 scoreline how Ambassadors was able to change what they did.
Yeah, I mean, that space in the back, it's inexcusable from Cleveland SC's perspective. I mean, Reese Utter, a midfielder, had so much space, and I mean, he saw it. He saw it very early there. I mean, he started making that run about 35 yards away, and Robinson up in arms after a tackle from Jaden Wright.
I mean, I can understand Robinson's frustration, but it wasn't the hardest of challenges.
Absolutely not. I mean, yeah, but again, you know, understand as a goalkeeper,
Right.
you're usually subject to different treatment.
Right,
But
so
Jaden
you're-
Wright takes no prisoners.
No, not at all. And again, that comes from that frustration that we've seen as well. But nothing in that. I mean, no real need from Robinson to get up in the face of Jaden Wright and have a couple words, but nothing really, you know, came of it. So
Win from Reese Utter.
Visit littlecloudsandwiches.com for more information. And they also supply our Cleveland SC after the matches.
Good win from Vagwa Haley. Cleveland SC now just maybe out of spite looking to break up Ambassadors' clean sheet tonight. Who knows? Dawson plays a ball forward. Jaden Wright has got some space. Great tackle. Last-ditch defending from Ben Mihailik. Sent forward. Lewis does his best to manage it. And Mushanga can't keep it alive. Rimlyansky is a promising looking ball forward. Vagwa Haley. That's a throw for Cleveland, or against Cleveland SC as well. Can't even win the throw. There's nothing going their way in this second half. An official won't even spare the time as he points to the center spot with that final score as Cleveland SC are bombarded on their home turf with a final score of 4-0.
Cleveland SC 0.
I mean, what a performance from Ambassadors. I mean, Amir Spratt, talk about a player, talk about a performance. Again, we said it so many times, Gianluca, he could have had easily 4 or 5 goals in this match alone.
It was a killer performance from them, and again, you know, in the first half it was very much so Ambassadors playing so well compared to Cleveland SC not playing well enough. You know, they had so many chances forward, and again, we're just missing that finishing touch, like we said, that last movement, that last moment to capture some kind of goal, something to work with. Then the second half came around, and it was just a thrashing from Ambassadors. Very little attacking promise from Cleveland SC for the final about 30 minutes of that game. And it was tough to deal with, but, I mean, boy, did Ambassadors take advantage of that lack of innovation up top. Amir Spratt doubled the advantage. Alex Depperschmidt coming up from his more so defensive positioning for goal number 3, and Reese Utter exploited a gaping hole in the center of the park off a counterattack to make it 4, and Cleveland SC just had no response. And with that, they fall down to 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, while Ambassadors will rise to 3 wins, a loss, and a draw. And with that, that will take them to the top of the table here in the Great Lakes Conference of the NPSL. Both teams will play the Buffalo Stallions next, but The Ambassadors have quite the break. They don't play again until the 14th with a 7 p.m. kickoff back at home at Malone University. Meanwhile, for Cleveland SC, they will be back on Saturday for a 7 p.m. kickoff here live at Finnie Stadium against the Buffalo Stallions. Of course, I myself will not be on the call for that game. Gavin Carrick will be my partner in crime for tonight, along with whoever decides to join him for the
Whoever,
ride.
you know.
come one, come all. But with that, Gavin, any closing thoughts for a disappointing result tonight, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one where you shake it off. You go home. You say, yeah, was not our night. 4-0. Defense was not there. The offense could not really get it. It was that last touch could not get what they wanted to come off. But realize that we're still in a very good position, and we have another match in just a couple of days to really come out here, especially at home too. You want to come out. You've already beaten Buffalo 3-0 this season, so it's a team that you want to pick up 3 points. It's almost a team that you feel that if you don't pick up 3 points against, having already beaten them quite convincingly, that almost might be seen as a loss in itself. So go home, regroup, recharge, come back out, say we're still in a good position. We can pick up points. You'll want to come out Saturday and prove it.
Absolutely. And with that, folks, that's just going to about wrap up our coverage today at Finnie Stadium and Cleveland SC after a disappointing 4-0 result. But in just a couple days, the squad will be back in action and a 7 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. So, from everybody here at Cleveland SC, our camera person, Shelby Gill, from our producer, the man behind the scenes tonight, Christian Pagan, and my partner in crime tonight, Gavin Carrick, my name's Gianluca Di Giacomo, signing off for everyone here at the Cleveland SC